G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Currently sitting in the patrol, getting ready to head up to Melbourne because today we're going to be painting the car finally. Obviously the back end of the chop's been in primer for a good month now, so going to head up to Melbourne, catch up with my mate Jake, who's Styleworks 4x4. He's going to help me fix up a few little imperfections and that, and then yeah, tomorrow morning goes into the booth for spraying. Just going to keep it black for now. I'm not going to do a full respray or anything, just the part that was chopped because it's a four-wheel drive and I don't want to spend a stupid amount of money spraying it and then take it off road next weekend and bloody scratch it anyway. So not too fussed about it, but just need it all one colour obviously, so I'll take you along with me. Just pulled up at Jake's shed, Styleworks. There's his Ranger. First thing I'm going to do is unbolt this tray, pull it off so we've got full access to this rear wall, give it a good clean, and then the only thing I got to do is bog this hole on this side from Cobalt last weekend. Little dent there. So basically I leaned it up against a rock and just the corner of the rock just caved in this bit, and I just know even when I got sliders there you're going to see that, so I'll sand that back a little bit, bog it, and then basically that's it. Might give the chassis a good clean while that's off. Alright, so first thing we've done is just with the wide wheel, taking all the paint back off it. You can see too, just because I've had it sitting for so long, there's some little pitting and stuff that wasn't there originally, just because of shrinkage and stuff. So we're just going to give everything a little bit of a sand back and reprime some of the stuff before tomorrow, just because I don't want any of this surface rust coming back to bite me in the ass later. So that's all cleared out now, which will hold bog, which is good. I've got some wax and grease remover, so I'm just going to give this a proper wipe down because you can see it's all dirty and stuff from the drive up here, and then a lot of the surface rust and stuff had built up in there too, so I'll give that a good clean too. And then we've got some primer and stuff that we're going to just chuck over the spots that we've taken the paint off. Alright guys, it's the next morning. We had a pretty late night last night at Styleworks shed. Didn't finish up until around 3 AM. Just doing a lot of body work and stuff. Got a bit carried away, but I'm very happy with the end result. And now I'm on my way to the spray booth that we're using, so I'll pick up the camera when we get there. Alright, we've just pulled up to the booth. This is Lockie's car, his 80 series. He's the one that's going to be helping me spray it today because I've got no idea what I'm doing and he does. So this is the booth in here. We've just pulled the patrol in, gave it a good wipe down with the wax and grease remover, and now he's just prepping it with all the tape and stuff. We've just finished all the masking up, everything's taped up. Now we've just chucked the oven on, getting ready to bake it as we lay this first coat of primer. Then we'll give it a light sand, and then we'll paint it black. Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a jump since the last clip, but basically as we were painting we started getting a bit more rushed for time and stuff. The booth was, like the guy that owns the booth, he was sort of rushing us out a little bit. But when I get home I'll show you the finished job. There's a couple of little spots that sort of had pitting and stuff, which I think was more just because of a little bit of prep work, but mostly just because it had been so long sometimes. Apparently the primer can react and stuff if it's got any contamination at all. We thought we'd done a decent job and we were going to just give it a little wet sand and do another coat over the top with maybe some high fill stuff, but yeah, we just didn't have time. but I'm planning on wrapping over this anyway, so it's probably not going to be a problem, and it's also a 4-wheel drive, so I'm not expecting a show car finish. I'm not sure if you can see behind me there's something sitting in the back of the tray, which is the little surprise I got for you guys that I just picked up, and now I'm heading home. So I've got a 3-hour drive, and then I'll get the camera out and show you guys what I picked up, and I'll show you the full paint job. So yeah. Alright, so I'm back home now. You can see the car at the back has been painted, but before I show you that, I'll show you the thing I picked up, do a bit of a reveal. I picked up a black extra cab Ranger tub, which obviously at the moment isn't sitting very nice at all, but the colour match is basically spot on from factory, and once it's sitting at the right height, I reckon this can look really sick. So my plan basically is to have this tub as my daily setup and my dune setup. So when I'm on the beach and stuff, put this on, as I'm not going to want to damage it. But then when I'm doing rock crawling, I'll put the tray on, because both of them are pretty easy to take on and off. The other thing is the flare is obviously slightly different shape, like that's rounded, and the Series 4 is sort of have a bit of a flat spot in the center. So I've actually ordered some new flares for the front and the rear, and I'm going to mold the rears into the tub with Jake from Styleworks, because he's really good at fiberglass work. That's how it looks from the rear. It's pretty cool and great. It's about to start pissing down on me again, but once it drops down, basically the top of the tub here will sit at the top of the window there, and then the bottom will sit at the bottom of the sill, and I reckon it's going to look sick. So at the moment, currently, if I get under here, I might be able to show you. I'll get under from underneath. I'm out of the weather as well. But basically, on the tub, you can see these little cross rails. There's one there, and here. You can see at the moment the back tray mount is sitting on that one. But I actually don't want to sit on there, because that's about 50 to 60 mil there, and if I actually cut that out and sit it directly on the tub, it'll sit at the right height. So you can also see through there, you probably can't get a great camera angle, but the front one is actually sitting on the cross member there too, and over that side you can barely see it, but if I do a little notch on those cross members at the front and on this one, it should allow it to drop down and sit at a much nicer level. So I'll do that. I've just got to get the tub dead center first basically, and then I'll mark there, check all that out. It'll be able to drop down, and I'll be able to put a bolt through the tray mount, through the tub floor, and with some big washers, and it should be no worries at all. And if I want to reinforce it, I could put some like plating and stuff on the side, but I'll see how it goes for now. And I also might have to cut a bit out of there, because that might hit on the coil tower, because that one's only got about 20 mil clearance there at the moment, so by the time it drops down 60 it'll hit. But I'll just get the grinder out at some stage once I marked it all, and I'll be able to cut and just work shit out. And then the only other thing is, you can see the gap at the top is bigger than the gap at the bottom. It's basically touching there, so I might have to sort of measure what that is there. Say it's 100 mil, I'll go with a ruler, mark 100 mil from there to there, 100 mil from there to there, just get a few little reference points, 100 mil from there to there, and I'll do a big line up there, and I'll be able to cut that and slide the whole tub forward, probably leave a 20 mil, 30 mil gap between the both of them, and that should sit a lot nicer there, because you can sort of see through the other side. The back panel's actually plumb. It's just the bottom piece that flares out, because that's how the Ranger cabs sit. So they've just obviously made it suit the cab, not for a patrol. But I don't have enough people here today to sort of help me lift this off and cut it. So all I'm going to try and get done today, I've already pulled the Ranger sticker off, and I've got this cool idea. If you go in here, I've got these two stickers that I bought off eBay. One says Patrol and one says Nissan. I was going to put them both on, but I'm thinking I might just put the Patrol one on for now. So basically, this is silver. You can't really tell yet, but it's just a vinyl cut one, and that'll sit across there like that. You probably won't get a good idea until I actually put it on, but I'll give this a quick wipe down, get the center point, chuck this on with the missus, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll get some mates over, we'll lift this off and do some cutting, and I'll show you how it looks after that. And when I take this off as well, I'll give you a proper look at the paint. Not much to really look at though, just black paint. Got to take that rear window out again just to get it fitted properly because I couldn't do a great job of it, and I also need to get it tinted. Alright, so I got this sticker on last night. Looks pretty cool, I reckon. And then as you can see, just above it is where the old Ford badge was. So I was thinking about sanding the Ford badge down and then painting it, and then putting like a Nissan sticker over it, but then I realised I've got this old, wrong way around, this old Nissan badge from my old grill. So I've just pulled the tabs off it that normally clip in, so now it can be flat. And basically I'm just going to drill maybe a hole in each corner and then put like a little screw through it so I can mount that there. Obviously it doesn't fit perfect, but I don't think you'll notice it too bad. And I'll just screw it into sides or something, or I'll glue it, but I don't think glue will hold it well enough because there's not a huge amount of sort of contact surface. But I'll come up with a few options, but then I reckon that'll look pretty cool. So Nissan Patrol, so that's the plan. And I've got some mates coming over very soon to help me lift this back off, because I've marked the spots underneath where I need to cut it to lower it down, and then we'll just do a few test runs. Alright, just finished chucking the badge on. Basically I'll change these bolts over, but for now these are the only ones I had that were long enough and the right thread. But I just used my nutsert kit, drilled a hole through there and there. There was already factory holes in the tub, just put some nutserts in it, bolted it in, and from a distance you can't even see it. So pretty cool, I reckon. Started to think that I might order another one of these Patrol stickers that's a bit wider. This is just like a windscreen one off eBay. I thought it was going to be more than wide enough, but it might look a bit better if I sort of spread it out to about 1200 mil. So I might just get like a full custom one made up that, yeah, it goes from about there all the way across. A bit more like the Ranger ones. The letters from the Ranger tubs are a bit more spread out, but for now this still looks pretty cool. And now I'm just going to go with my pencil, mark these 100 mil increments, mark it out, ready to cut. Alright, a little bit of an update. I haven't been filming much just because we're trying to smash this out, but basically I've cut these two side pieces off here because the cab's obviously dead flat, and that's now flat. But these from factory sit on that big angle, so it goes from like 110 mil to nothing at the top. So now that should sit a lot better, but it's definitely made it very flimsy. So I'm thinking I'll either pinch weld this, and then I'll just get some little 10 mil rods, and you can like weld them to the inside there so that the weld's not seen, up to here, then another one there, and just spread it over a few points because it's not going to cop many knocks anyway. Otherwise I do like a full plated back where I get 3 mil or 5 mil steel and weld it all along. But that just means that obviously that's a lot of welding to have to get perfect and sanded back and painted. So it might be better to just do a little painted strip there, then cover it with pinch weld, because you'll barely see it, and because it should hopefully follow the body line pretty well, you won't actually see in through here anyway if it's close enough to the cab. But I'll leave it open for now and just decide that later. But I've done that on both sides, and now my next issue is where it's going to sit on the cab. It's going to be too close at the back of the tyre, so the tyre's actually going to hit before it gets all the way forward. So I'm going to have to basically cut almost along that little line, if you can see it, come up and across. You can see at the front the Patrols sort of have like a bit of a flat spot at the top, so I sort of might try and follow that arch. I might get a bit of cardboard, trace that out, and then template it onto that, even though it's probably going to be covered later on down the truck because we're going to have the Series 4 rear flares molded into it, and then it probably will become obsolete. But for now I want it to look sort of good. And then you probably won't be able to tell, but I did get underneath and I've cut all these mounts out, so you can see these ones I just drilled the spot welds out, and right there I've cut that whole part out. So once I know it all works and sits at the right height, I might put some bracing and stuff in it if it needs it, because obviously it's a lot less strength in it now without all this, because obviously that is in there for strength, and now that it's been taken out it's going to be a lot weaker. But we'll see how I go. This could all be for nothing, but I wanted to give it a go anyway, try to be unique. But yeah, I'll mark this out now, do this cutting, and then we'll lift it back on and see what it looks like. So just got it mounted up with the boys, sitting pretty nice. At the moment I've just left it with that edge exposed. Obviously I don't have any pinch weld or anything. It's sitting maybe 10 mil higher, but if you were to put another bit of this seal there, it'd actually line up spot on. And then my plan is that when I brace all this in here, because that's pretty flimsy, I'm actually gonna sort of tack it where it's sitting widthwise there, and then I can sort of shape it to the body while I tack it up, if that makes sense, which I'll explain better when I actually get around to doing that. You can see my rough cut here, which is basically just what I needed from that point for clearance on up travel. And now I'm just going to give it a proper nice round. Now that it's on the car, I can see sort of how it's sitting. It obviously sits a little bit more forward than you'd like, but by the time I clear more of it out, it probably won't look too bad, and it'll get filled in when I do the molded Series 4 flares. But from like here, it looks unreal, I reckon. Very happy with it. I reckon it should be pretty cool by the time it's all welded up. From the back it looks unreal. I just put this badge on too, which may or may not stay on there, but it's now the Nissan Patrol Shitbox Edition. This is probably my favourite angle here. From behind you see it, just exposing that rear window, showing the chop off, and then just if there's a car following you from behind, just seeing the coils and the shocks, as well as just seeing it as a tub. And with the new Nissan badge and stuff, I reckon it'll be pretty funny. It's going to confuse a lot of people and probably piss a lot of people off, but I'm loving it so far. So I'm probably going to get some cardboard or paper and try template the sort of shape at the front with the rear, and then copy it on the other side, and that'll probably do me for today. I've still got to mount up the tail lights, not mount them up but wire them up. You can see in here the plug's here, but I'm not sure. I don't really want to hardwire it in case I take it off, but I'm not going to have that plug because it'll be from forward, so I might either switch this plug over for another plug from like Super Cheap Auto or something, but I might just hardwire it in for tonight, and I can always change it later. And then I've got to pull my number plate off the tray, and that obviously has a mounting spot already, and I can go for a bit of a test drive. Alright, I've just finished cutting this rear guard for now. Not too bad, should have plenty of clearance. Obviously it's going to all get covered anyway when I do the molded flares, so for now this is just to get me driving. And I've just got this fuel hose as well, because at the moment it's just been sitting there. So hopefully I can run this up here, and I'll just do like a hole saw or something here, and hopefully this can reach, because if I sit that in there like that, it sort of gets to about there, so it might not be a bad spot for it. Alright, for now it is officially done. It's basically all I can do. I've just mounted the fuel filler right there, so all I have to do is reach over and I can fill it from there. And this part should never get blocked anyway, because I only plan to put jaws and stuff in there, and I can always change it later. Rather than putting a hole in here, I thought it'd be a better idea. And it just goes down like that, which is plenty of room for the tyre, because on up travel it pushes back anyway, not forward. So now I'm just going to try wire up these taillights quickly. I'll just hardwire them for now because I don't have enough time to get some plugs and stuff. They're shut today, as it's a public holiday, so all I'll do is cut these plugs off, cut the old tail lights out and rewire them for now. Just got the tail lights wired up, indicators and everything work. I just didn't get the reverse lights done, but that's just because I couldn't find the wires in the harness, but I might have to chase them back another night. So that basically does it for tonight. I'll pick up the camera tomorrow when it's better lighting. I'm gonna go do the car wash now, and then I'll do a full walk around showing you the tub, how it looks from all angles, and then that'll probably do it for this video. After that, it's probably going to be another week or two until I get those rear series 4 flares and mold them in, so I don't want to make you guys wait to see this part of it, so I'll just do 2 parts or something of the video. Alright, so don't mind how dirty the car is at the moment, but that's actually going to do it for this video. I've decided the rest of the stuff that I've got to do to this tub will be in part 2, just because I want to get this video out there for everyone to see. But basically, in part 2, I'll brace all this that's really flimsy. I've got to cut a bit of stuff, that little thing off there for up travel. And then I've also already pulled the tub liner out so that I can brace these mounts. I'm going to put a bit of this 10mm steel over here from mount to mount just to strengthen that. And a few other little bits and pieces. I've got a tub rack for the rooftop tent that's arrived, which will be in another video. And what I've done since the last clip you would have seen is I've pulled that patrol sticker off. I just prefer the cleaner look. It was sticking out too much. I might get another one that's black or something that's a bit subtle, but for now I'm just going to keep it clean. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Something a little bit different. You don't see many patrols with a Ranger tub on it. Obviously got a long way to go still. Got to fix up some of the body lines, mold the flares and whatnot, but pretty stoked with how good it looks for how little work I've done to it so far. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.